Hi, welcome to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I am your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry and on Flirk and Instagram. I am Mel-Tran Designs. This is episode 76, and today is July 30th, 2015, and it's been less than 2 weeks since I recorded. Yes! The date on my last one was July 20th, and hallelujah, I made it in less than 2 weeks. My kids are gone, well, the old ones. The baby's right here, so you'll probably see her. She might pop in. My sister and brother-in-law signed on their house that is around the corner a couple days ago, and to celebrate, they took the older kids to a movie, and I'm having pop-ups here, and then they are going to go play in their empty house before there's a bunch of stuff in it. So anyways, I thought, you know what? I'm going to record. Jake might get home at some point. That's all right. Anyways, how have you been? There's a slight possibility you're seeing this on iTunes. After a very long hangout this morning with the wonderful James from the Dancing Geek podcast, we were able to figure out the whole iTunes fiasco, and yeah, I still haven't received my email that says that they've reviewed it and finished putting it up, but everything has gone through. So even if they do come back and say there's something that needs to be tweaked, I can handle that now. I know how to get stuff up there, and I'm super excited. So anyways, also I found my webcam, so if things look different, it's because I have the right stuff recording me this time, finally. It's the first time in a few months. So anyways, hopefully this works. I'm trying to figure out how to make it so my file size is smaller. So those of you who do use iTunes, I'm not taking up half of your iPad or whatever it is you're using. So anyway, sorry about that. Just a little bit. I have a lot to talk about and a lot to show you, so let's jump right into happenings this week. This last weekend we went camping, and if you're probably not familiar with Idaho, but we were just about 30 miles past a town called Idaho City. It ended up being about a 2-hour drive, and when we go camp, we take tents and sleeping bags and food in a cooler, and we just find a spot. I don't believe in using official campgrounds and all that charge $15 a night, and you have to keep your dogs tied up to a leash, and there's other people. I don't camp to be around other people. I camp so I can be with just my family and get away from people, especially stupid people, because there's a lot of stupid people that go camping and they're loud and obnoxious, and I don't want to deal with that crap. So we drive, and we found a great spot that was pretty cool. There wasn't any like running water. We like to usually have that for the sound and also just to have the water. But sorry, there's a hair or eyelash or something bugging me. But there was a small little kind of spring water that was it was barely moving, but it was just enough that we could like wash our hands in it or rinse something off or whatever. So we didn't. We weren't completely without water. Anyways, there were also lots of, sorry, Quinn bumped the table. There were lots of fallen trees and stuff that were dry, so we were able to just break off firewood. And the coolest part of the whole weekend, my hair is sticking to my neck because it's hot in here. Okay, if you're not in the Pacific Northwest, you might not know what this is, because I texted Lisa when we got home and she had no idea what I was talking about. We found the motherlode of all huckleberry patches. For those of you that don't know, huckleberries are very particular about where they grow. And you have to find them in the woods, because that's where they grow. Usually on a hillside, under some trees, just the right amount of shade. Like, it's this perfect. Anyways, they're very picky. So we had walked up this logging road, and we were about a mile probably, and we were coming back down, and it did a switchback. And I kept looking down these hillsides going, why don't I see huckleberries? why don't I see huckleberry plants? This is where they grow. And I just wasn't seeing them and wasn't seeing them. And then I noticed on the switchback, we could just go down this fun little ravine and go back up and catch up with the road over here. And so I said, hey, I'm going to go down there if any of you guys want to follow me. So Eli and I climbed down there. I stop in the middle and look around. I'm surrounded by huckleberry bushes, plants, whatever. They're not really super bushy, but anyways, surrounded. Thousands of huckleberries. And seriously, I've never seen this big of a huckleberry patch in my whole life. And I started squealing, and my voice went up a few octaves, and I was saying, Jake, Jake! And he says, what? Because he had Quinn strapped to his back, so he stayed up on the road. And I said, there's huckleberries everywhere! And he says, oh, cool. So he climbs down. We didn't have anything to hold him in, so we dumped out our water bottles and just started picking. And he has never picked huckleberries in his whole life. And I should go grab one of the water bottles. It's in the fridge. And so he's like, he kept saying, I can't believe we're just in the woods picking berries. And I was like, well, that's where they grow. And he's like, yeah, but we just started picking these berries. And anyways, hold on, and I'll go grab a bottle of them. All right. So they're kind of similar to a blueberry. You can see here's this full. For the most part, the ones here, the ones in northern Idaho get really big. The ones here are only about this big. You can see that it's quite small. So it takes a long time to fill this up. It doesn't look like a huge water bottle. It took a long time. And we have another water bottle that's full. I'm going to go set this down so Quint can't knock it off. Hold on. Anyway, so we picked until it got warm enough that all the flies and bugs started coming out and bothering us, and then went back to the campsite. And we were going to go back the next morning, but it rained that night, and when we got up, it was cold and wet, and I was not going to go climbing down in a ravine that's wet and not going to do it. So this next Monday, we're going to go back up. Yes, we're going to drive 2 hours to go pick huckleberries. But then on the way back, we're going to stop at a place called Moore's Creek so we can play in the water and stuff. We were going to do that this last Monday on the way home, but it was only supposed to be 74 degrees. Like I said, it had rained the night before. So really, we were already going to be going back up to Moore's Creek, which is 30... I have a lot of flies in my house. 45 miles closer. That's all right. It's totally worth it. So we're going to get up early in the morning and go up there and pick huckleberries and then come back and do Moore's Creek for the day and play in the water and do all that kind of stuff and then come home. It'll be our last kind of thing we do before the kids go back to school the following Monday. So anyways, the first thing I'm going to make is cobbler, and then I'm going to freeze the rest, just like my grandma used to do. And it's my grandma's cobbler recipe. So anyways, there's what a huckleberry is. It's really cool, and like I said, if you live in the Pacific Northwest or ever have or whatever, you know what a find it is, and nobody knows where it is but us. It's a secret. I'm not going to tell you. Anyways, so there you go. That was the exciting Quinny. No. That was the exciting weekend. We had campfires and we made s'mores and we cooked hot dogs and ate lots of chips and froze the first night, stayed warmer the second night because we all crammed into the same tent and huddled together so we could stay warm, and that was good. The kids had a blast. I took not tons of pictures. I took a decent amount of pictures. Quinn experiencing her first campfire, and she just stood there and pointed at it for the first little while. And she, oh my gosh, she was just walking around and she'd pick up a rock and say, pretty. That's how she says pretty. Pretty, pretty. And she was looking at trees and trying to say tree. And anyways, the dogs had a good time. We all a good time was had for y'all. I feel like, there. Like you're seeing too much up here and not enough down here. So anyway, it was a great time, and I'm so glad we went. It was the first time we finally got away this summer, and now we only have 2 weekends left before they go back to school. And one of those weekends, this weekend, is going to be spent helping my sister and brother-in-law move into their new house. So anyway, what else? Eli's birthday was yesterday. He turned 7, and I gave him his monster that I made last month. So that was fun, and we're going to have a little family birthday party this weekend. Friday night, we went school supply shopping. Let me just say, thank goodness for McDonald's and Walmart, because not only were we getting all of their $1.5 million stinking school supplies they each have to have, we were also getting the food for camping. About halfway through, we stopped and went into McDonald's and had dinner. And then went back out and finished shopping. We were there for like 3 hours. I'm not even kidding. It was horrible. The amount of school supplies that these kids have to have is just outrageous. And the teachers are wanting them to get like top of the line name brand stuff. And I'm going, I'm sorry. I have three kids stuff I'm having to pay for. I'm not getting a pack of $5 pencils, just the regular wood pencils, 20 of them. I didn't get the cheap crappy ones, but I'm not spending $5 on a package when I can spend $1 or $1.50 on a package. So it's just ridiculous. Oh, who's that, Quinny? Do you see the Quinn? Can you say hi? Oh, yeah. Where's your nose? There's your nose. She just learned that this week. There's a nose. Is that the Quinny nose? Yeah, right there. Let's see if I can. There we go. Is that the Quinny nose? Nose. Yay, Quinny. Can you say yay? Can you clap? Yay. She's like, no, I'm tired. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see that on the TV? Is it a game? Sorry, normally I wouldn't just let her talk. A couple people said they enjoyed hearing her talk last week, so I figured I'd let you hear her for a second. Yeah.
What?
Say dada.
Daddy.
Dada. She loves her dada. And mama.
Mama.
Mama. Oh, anyway. All right, I'm going to sit her next to me. Let's sit right here. All right, so that's happenings this week. Let's call that done. That's pretty much everything. Going on / coming up, I'm not hosting anything, but I'm participating still in Camp Loopy, getting ready to do Project 3 very soon. And the second month of the Alphabet Knit Along that I'm participating in. And I did participate in the sweater knit along that Dramatic Knits had going on, but I've already posted my picture for that. I was actually the first one. And that's really all. I'm not doing anything in particular. This chunk of hair seriously wants to just be shaved off, I think. It sits right there and it like pushes on this skin. It bothers me. Getting tired of my hair. Anytime it gets long, I start going, oh yeah, this is why I don't have it grown out. Because it touches my neck. Anyway, I know you probably don't care, but it bothers me. Anyway, all right, it looks like my camera is delayed, but my computer is doing a couple of things. So I'm going to click on something here just for a second. I'll keep talking to you. Oh. All right, looks like everything's okay on that. So I'm just going to keep talking, and hopefully it all catches up. Okay, so let's get into works in progress. I have so much to show you. So much to show you. Okay. I've been designing like crazy. So like this, you're not going to be able to tell what it is. Design stuff. And then like I have said before, I don't pull my blanket out all that often, but I've been needing, when you're, I don't know how other designers are, but my brain, first of all, has exploded with designs, like more than even in the last episode. So I'm trying to get this extra yarn out of here. So sometimes when I'm designing these things, even if they're not hard, because I have to pay extra attention to what I'm doing, I get tired of working on them. And so sometimes I just need some garter stitch or just some plain blah 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 that I don't have to measure, I don't have to worry about. So I've been working on my 10 stitch blanket. And last time, I need to put a little clip in here so we can see, you know, how far I go each time. I know that I've joined this new color though because that's been recent. So I finished this purple I was working on last time. Here, let's hold it right side out. So I was working on this purple last time, and I finished that and went into the teal and gray that is some Fiber Nymph Inversibles. That was from my Cursed Cable Knit kit that we did together. And then now I have this lighter purple and black. It's a Tofootsies yarn from a club, a sock club I did a really long time ago. And I have a decent amount of it, so that'll actually be a pretty substantial chunk. I'll hold this up as best I can so you can see it without having to stand up or anything. This is how much I have. And it's super fun. I really enjoy pulling it out and working on it. And so I've been kind of happy for the times when I was kind of overloaded and needed a break because I enjoy working on it so much. So anyway, it's on some of my old Addy Turbos that I don't use anymore. It's a size 4. And the bag it's in is a Knitting's My Bag, her medium size. There's a little spider in my bag. So I don't mean to be distracted. I'm just watching to see if it's going to climb out, because if it is, I'm going to step on it. And it looks like it's wanting to climb out, so I'm going to be distracted for a couple minutes while I watch it. Oh, come on, mister. Just get out. I think I got it. Sorry. Well, the excitement live on Mel-Tran Designs, right? All right. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay. I killed the spider. Sorry about that. Provide some comic relief for you. You want up? Okay. Up. Okay. So let's move that away from her. Anyway, let's get back onto it. Here's something I started last night, so it's not very big. I worked on a couple 3 rows while James and I were talking today while we were waiting for this, that, or the other to load or derive or whatever the crap everything was doing. It was a fun hangout. It really, really was. We got to chat in between doing techie stuff. So anyways, it's just the beginning of a sock that I'm designing. This is the Uber colorway by Heather of Highland Handmaids in her Sugar Maple sock. And it reminds me, especially knit up, I like how it's kind of messy and mixed together. It reminds me of graffiti. So, and I like that. I think it's really cool. I obviously am not to the body of the sock yet. This is just some size 0 needles, 64 stitches. I'm just doing some 2x2 ribbing. I have an idea that I think might work with self-striping and variegated. So we'll see. It's nothing fancy, just something to kind of change things up a little bit. So can you let go of this? Sit down, Queenie. Sit down. Sit down. Yeah. So anyway, that doesn't even have a bag yet because I just have been kind of working on a couple rows today. Then in this bag is another design. So designing and works in progress are just going to be the same thing. This is a men's sock pattern, and I don't really care if I show it to you or not. If you steal it, you steal it. Not that I think any of you will. I'm just saying if somebody was desperate enough to steal my idea, more power to you. Because I'm tired of not showing you things. Oh, speaking of not showing you things, there's something insanely exciting that I can't tell you about yet. Next week, though, when I have it to actually show you, yes, it is a new adventure that I'm going to take you on with me. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to love it. Stay tuned for next week. Okay, back to the sock. Here it is. Nothing fancy schmancy. I had my dad in mind when I designed these, and he won't do super fancy, but I do have kind of an alternate version that goes with this. So these sides are set off by pearl and then reverse stockinette and then some garter. You can, and it shows up more kind of when it's stretched and on the foot, and some texture here. But the alternate version, if somebody wanted a little fancier, is a cable detail in this column. So these feel so wide, and it's funny because it's only 72 stitches instead of 64, but they seem huge to my eyes, but I'm knitting them on zeros, so I know they're not. It's just so much bigger than what I'm used to. Anyways, this yarn is, oh, I knew I'd forget. Pagewood Farms, does that sound right? Is that a real thing? My friend traded me for it, and see, it's a nice semi-solid dark blue. I think that's what it's called. And I don't know the colorway name. It might just be navy or something like that. Anyways, and that's in one of my 31 zipper pouches. I think this is lastly. There was another pair of socks that I was going to cast on for Jake, but I haven't gotten to them yet. This is not a design. It is the Literally Over the Top by Megan Williams. The lovely Megan from Stockinette Zombies. I love her patterns. I just adore her patterns. And this, it's called Literally Over the Top because you start at the bottom, go up over the top, and back down, and then you join. It's a paid for pattern, but I can tell you that because she says it in her pattern description, even on Ravelry. So, and she's talked about it on her podcast too. Anyways, I started this while we were camping this weekend, and this is how far I've been able to get. It's such an it's very easily memorized. It's just a nice four row repeat. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to, there we go, kind of block it out there for you. Anyways, I'm having a lot of fun working on this. The yarn I'm using is Malabrigo Sock, and I thought I had the tag in here, but I guess I don't. Here's the colorway. Sorry. I have two skeins of it, and I'm alternating, even though they look really identical, and Malabrigo stuff in the more solid colors is usually pretty consistent. I still don't want to take the chance and have a weird line. So, and it's not a big deal to just go over and back and then switch and over and back. So, this is in my fancy Ziploc bag because I took it camping and didn't want to take a nice bag, and I just haven't put it in anything else yet. Oh, no. Please don't stand on that. No. Get down. There we go. Dad's not here. He went to work. All right. That is all the works in progress I have. I know, right? Crazy. And that's not even, I have other stuff that I just haven't even worked on. I was telling Lisa, so let me explain something to you since I'm doing designing right now too, in this segment. These ideas, like the one with the Uber, I was like, I really think this will work. And then I'm working on my dad's sock, just going along and doing these pattern repeats, and I'm like, I just want to know if it works. I just want to know if it works. That's it. I don't want to make the whole sock. I just want to know if it works. So I was like, okay, I'll just cast it on and do a couple repeats and see if it works. If it does, then I can go back to my dad's sock and finish that pattern. Or if it doesn't work, I'll know that too, and I can pull it back at least to the ribbing and try something else later. But at least I know, and it won't be bothering me anymore, because it seems to be like knocking on my head going, hey, 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 see if I work, see if I work. And the white thing has been more of a, I just want to see if it'll work, and I just grabbed some white yarn that I had sitting there just to see if this would work type thing. And so I have all of these little pieces on the needles, and I feel kind of scatterbrained right now, but at the same time, it's helping me to be less distracted because I will know if it works or not. And I know going into that Uber sock, I'm only going to knit, you know, a couple 3 inches on it, and I'm going to set it aside until my dad's socks are done and I can write up that pattern and get it done. I say all that though after having knit this hat for Jake, and I haven't written up the pattern yet. A lot because I want to tweak a couple things. Overall, I like it, but there's a couple things I want to tweak, like the way I did the top and stuff. So this is just a nice basic hat. It's belling out just because of the way I'm holding it. Just a basic beanie with some texture. He loves it. I'm just going to call it the husband hat. See, it's kind of nice and loose on me. Yes, it's purple. It goes with his sweater. It's leftover from the sweater. Anyways, so he loves it. He likes the texture stitch. I wanted something that was easy to kind of throw together, but at the same time had a little bit of something to it. So anyway, yeah, like I said, that'll just be called my husband hat. And that should be coming out soon. I have most of it, it's written, it's just not typed up. So if you are a man or have a man in your life and you would like to test a worsted weight hat, please shoot me either a PM on Ravelry or reply in the episode thread, or whatever. Contact me however you want and let me know that you'd be interested in testing it for me, and that'll encourage me to get it out a little faster. So anyways, hey, I'm recording. Jake's home. Dada! Did you hear Quinn? Yeah, is that Dada with his bike? Yeah, Dada has his bike. I already told them you would probably come home. I was just showing them your hat too. He says it's a nice hat, but he's being quiet. All right, so that's all on the needles and finished objects, just that one. Oh, and your hat looks good on me, so I might steal it. Oh, and we went shoe shopping. Before we went school supply shopping and camping food shopping, we went shoe shopping because Famous Footwear was having a buy one get one half off sale. So we got the kids all tennis shoes for school and a couple pairs of church shoes, and Jake got some shoes. Anyways, we got an insanely good deal though, because their clearance stuff was also in the buy one get one half off, and they were already crazy cheap. So anyway, sorry, she's touching. I'm using one of my grandparents' old metal TV trays because they're awesome and I love them. And anytime she touches it, it just shakes. So, okay, I have just a couple more things to show you and then we'll be all done. So for next month, I'll show you this since it's August 1st on Saturday. Next month starts Saturday starts next month of letters for the Alphabet Knit Along for the 90% Knitting podcast. Sorry, Jake walking in distracted me. So I am doing, the letters are M through S. M through S. So I'm doing the Mama Vertebrae out of it's the Sassy Sheep. Her color is Moonlight. Unfortunately, it says the in front of Sassy Sheep, so I will only get 2 points for it, but I still get M for Mama Vertebrae and M for Moonlight. So here's what they look like in the skeins. Or in the balls. I balled them up last night. It looks kind of plaid, and I like it. I will be holding them doubled because I could do it in fingering weight, like at a fingering weight gauge, because she has that option. I don't want to. I want to mix these together and have it at. This is a light fingering, so it'll probably be closer to about a DK gauge. I'm going to do my gauge swatch here in the next couple of days. So, anyways, that will be coming up. I won't start it right away because I'm going to be gone for a week in August, and I'll be able to take that with me. But my blanket that I'll be sewing for Camp Loopy Project 3, I will miss that week of being able to work on it. So what I'm going to do is work on that first, but I'll get the mama vertebrae to a kind of past the beginning part where it's a little weird and fiddly, or kind of finicky, and get into the rhythm of it. So I'll be able to work on it while I'm gone. Quinny, where did Dada go? Where's Dada? Where's Dada? Dada, he's in the kitchen. Can you go see him? You keep moving the computer. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Then, I want to show you this, but I'll show it at the end. If you remember the mystery scarf I was working on, the mystery of the traveling scarf, I pulled it out. I didn't like it. And that's really all I'm going to say. I just didn't like it. So, I also didn't like that my skeins had these chunks where I had combined the colors, but it was only like red to orange had a combination, but orange to yellow didn't have one, and I didn't like that. So when I pulled out the scarf, I also cut off the spots where the colors were combined, and I have a little skein that has all of those, so I might make something little just for fun, maybe a monster chunk or something. So what I have is this beautiful rainbow of hand spun. Think I can do it without it knocking over? Actually, maybe I'll do it in 2 hands. So this is it's 100% Polworth from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. She had a set where it was 6 bits of 1 ounce each in these different colors, and I did 2 sets of them. So I have 2 plies here. You can, oh wait, wrong way. See how it goes in the rainbow. Anyway, it's very thin. I mean, like pretty much a lace weight in most of the areas. Lace weight to fingering weight and the whole thing. And I have a lot of yardage. Something like 1,800 to 2,000 yards. Way too much. So what I'm going to do is put it back on my wheel, and I'm going to ply it again, just tighten the ply. And then I'm going to do a Navajo ply back on itself and turn it into a cabled yarn. And that will, I know it'll cut my yardage, but it'll also make it larger because I don't like knitting with lace weight too terribly much. And it'll turn it into a yardage amount that is usable. So anyways, there's that. I don't know exactly what it'll be right now. I have an idea of something, but I need to see how much yarn I have, or what the yardage is after I'm done spinning it again. So we'll see. 2 more things and we're done. I wanted to show you Anansi's quilt that I've been working on for my Camp Loopy Project 2. It's not, the sewing is done, but the clipping is not done. And please don't look close if you're a sewer, because I really did a bad job, but that's okay. She's gonna love it, and overall you can't really tell. Oh, hi Lucy. Oh, and it's supposed to be raw edges. It's a rag quilt. I'm still clipping stuff. She wanted a little accent of pink, and we had to do some applique. So there's an A for Anansi. And then right down here in the other corner, I put on a fun pink flower with I found some yellow fabric that my friend had given the girls some scraps when they were kind of playing with some hand sewing, and so anyways, there's that, and here's the back. It's the same as the front pretty much. So anyways, that is going to be her birthday present, and it will be done by tomorrow because tomorrow is the last day of the month and the pictures will be uploaded. I just have to I just have to finish snipping and then throw it through the washing machine. So I'll be working on that tonight while this processes and everything. I lied. I have 2 more things now. I've done a little bit of spinning on my cute little mini Turkish drop spindle. I love this thing by Subterranean Woodworks. This is what's left of my little pigtail braid of Greenwood Fiberworks. And then I think this is the last little pigtail I have. Oh, and I don't know if this is Polworth or BFL. I got both, and I don't have the, I lied, I have the tag right here. I did this last time too. It's Polworth. So these little pigtails are 0.4 to 0.6 ounces, and they're a great way to buy her different colorways. And I have an ongoing project. I've talked about this before. Here's my first little turtle, the first half of it. For those of you who haven't watched before, what I'm doing is taking these little braids, open it up, split it in half, spin each of them on here, well now on here. This is my new one since Maryland Sheep and Wool. And then I have a plying, larger plying spindle from Highland Handmaids. And so I just do a 2-ply on that. And then I have 10 of these, and I'm going to put them all in a Drop City scarf. They don't match each other. They weren't picked to coordinate. I purposefully just got 10 different colors to do this with. I got them over 2 years ago. I'm ready to be done. And this, if this isn't the last one, then there's one more after it, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one. I hope I don't find another one, and then you can have to call me a liar. Anyways, this is in a Girl Cave Bags bag. And lastly, for acquisitions, I didn't have this sitting next to me last time. It's the quilt fabric for the next project that I'm doing for Camp Loopy. So it has this pink, this pretty blue, this orange with circles, and the green. These 3 solid colors are going to be the back, and the orange with the circles is going to be the bias tape I have to make. And then these will be the quilt itself. Did I show these? I really feel like I showed these, but I remember saying, I don't know where it is. Okay, well, I'll show you anyway. And if you're new, if you're old, if I've already shown it, I'm sorry. So here's one. And we have this pink with kind of a grid. And then we have orange with a grid and flowers. And stripes, and it actually has all the different colors in it. And then we have a yellow version of the stripes, and green with circles like the orange one that I have. And this blue is actually the same pattern as this, only in blues and greens with that little pop of pink. And then lastly is this one with the flowers and stuff. I know I could pull this out. I have to wash it like tonight or tomorrow or whatever to have it ready. I'll probably throw it through the wash when I wash the quilt that I'm finishing for Anansi. Anyways, I also I don't think I'm just gonna tell this. What came with that? I finally became a loopy groupie. So I got a bag that's a loopy groupie. It's a red drawstring bag from Della Q. And it had a jelly roll. Isn't that what they're called? Jelly roll in it. And that's really cool because that's not something I would ever buy for myself. And then when I started looking up some blanket patterns and stuff, that's a pretty cool thing that you have there. And they're expensive, and I got it for free. I'm super excited. So anyways, look for that in the future. That's all I have for you. If you are trying to find me, lots of places. Hopefully this works with iTunes. Look for me on there, Mel-Tran Designs. I also have a blog now, meltrandesigns.blogspot.com. That one is all one word, Mel-Tran Designs, no hyphen or anything. YouTube still under Mel-Tran Designs. And I have a Facebook group, Mel-Tran Designs, and also a group on Ravelry where I also post the videos there. So if you're looking and having a hard time finding me, there's lots of different places that you can keep looking. So anyways, tell your friends about the podcast, especially with it being on iTunes after 2.5 years. 2.5 years later, I finally am getting on there. So anyways, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'm excited to share my new big news with you next week. So until then, keep knitting. Bye.